866-224-5422.
All County Healthcare, Inc. is locally owned and operated, serving the Tri-County area, Palm Beach, Dade, and Broward counties for the last 25 years. The practice of medicine is changing dramatically. All County Healthcare, Inc. still does it the old-fashioned way, where our nurses and healthcare professionals come into your home to service your medical needs, providing you the fastest and best care possible. For more information, call 954-717-7027. And remember, Medicare Home Care is covered by Part A of Medicare with no out-of-pocket cost to you. It's your decision, and only your decision, on what healthcare agency you use. Call today. All County Home Health Care, Inc. at 954-717-7027. License 200999096. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. AMP2.TV presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.TV. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Hi, welcome to my show. My name is Krupa. I am your new host for the new show called The Roots and Remedy Show. I'm so excited to be here. I recently moved back to South Florida to be with my family, and I ended up just coming here a few weeks ago, and I love it. I have a health and nutrition shop for years in Georgia that is called Roots and Remedies, and I did radio for about 3.5 years in Georgia. And I'm just so excited to be back on the air. It's just wonderful. So now I get to present here in South Florida to you wonderful folks listening to me tonight. And I'll be coming on the air every Monday at 7:30 p.m. to talk to you about health and nutrition and roots and remedies. So a little bit about myself. I'm originally from India, and I've lived an Ayurvedic life for, I would say, about 48 years. Yes, I'm 48. And, it's really about eating healthy and eating properly. And everybody's chemical makeup is different, and so it really is about what works best for you. For me, I can tell you there's 3 doshas in Ayurvedic medicine. You have Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So I don't know how many people know about Ayurvedic medicine, but I would love to hear from you actually and let me know a little bit about your experience with Ayurvedic medicine. But it really is about balance, mind, body, and soul. So Ayurvedic medicine's been around for about 5,000 years. It is a practice originally from India, and really it incorporates foods and fruits from the earth, and they are used for medicine and, again, to keep your body in balance. So this is how I've lived. I'm excited to just talk about it to all you folks. And, one of the great things about my show is that we're going to be having several guests come on. Today it's all me, so you'll get to ask me as many questions as you like. But we'll be having several guests talk about different topics, and we'll be, touching base about, health and wellness, anything that has to do with, just eating properly and living well. And, there's a lot of issues out there that people are trying to take care of within themselves. We touch base on topics like anxiety and depression, digestion, weight loss, libido. That's a big one too. So we're going to be talking about a bunch of different things on the show, and I'm really excited to have this every night or every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. So anyway, back in Georgia, I did a lot of consultations, private consultations, one-on-one consultations that basically involved, meeting that particular person and helping them achieve balance. Like I said, Ayurvedic medicine's been around for 5,000 years, and it is mind, body, soul, and our whole focus is to achieve balance. So, meeting the person on an individual basis is really the most important thing for me, so I get to know the person, and then I can help design a program that's, fit for them. And I'll be doing that here in South Florida as well and beyond. And of course, I'll still continue keeping my amazing clientele and followers from Georgia also. But again, this is a little bit about me. I'm just really excited to be here. We're also going to be having one of the things that I want to be doing on the show and elsewhere is learning to cook with some Ayurvedic spices. A lot of you probably don't realize, but you have a lot of these spices in your cupboards and in your kitchen, your pantry, and they're all used for medicinal purposes. A lot of them are, believe it or not. One of the ones that I'm sure a lot of you have heard of is turmeric. And turmeric we use in Indian cuisine quite regularly. It is a yellow powder, and actually it is a root. It is a root that's similar like ginger, but when you use it in cuisine, you can use the root itself, as well as you can use powder, which is usually how we utilize it when we're cooking on Indian food on a daily basis. But turmeric is just a wonderful herb that is anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antifungal. I mean, it is great for everything. And I know a lot of you probably have heard of this amazing root, maybe from a friend or from, a family doctor. And now you're realizing, this is the route that I want to take in my life. I want to live organically, healthy, holistically. And I rather take something like turmeric for inflammation rather than taking, something else that's pharmaceutical and instead. So we'll be doing some really cool cooking shows and cooking episodes as well. So I love turmeric. That's one of my favorites. And even growing up, believe it or not, I used turmeric as a kid on my skin because I dealt with eczema a lot. And that's something that you can use topically. So not just in your food, you can incorporate turmeric, but you can definitely put it on your skin as well and use it, for any type of rash or cut or abrasion. Something else that you guys might have heard of that's in your pantry is fennel. Now, I know fennel is used in a lot of Mediterranean cooking, but we Indians, we love to use fennel a lot too. And we cook a lot with it, but, we really love it after a meal because it's wonderful for digestion. So I don't know if a lot of you probably have had Indian food, and if you haven't, you definitely need to try it. It is very flavorful. And at the end of an Indian meal, we eat fennel. Why do we eat fennel? Because fennel is just amazing just to help with digestion. It cleanses your palate and it helps digestion. It's kind of like an enzyme. It helps, break down your foods. So I'm sure you might find some fennel in your pantry, and I definitely encourage you to utilize some of that. And I'll just bring out one other herb or that we use cooking with a lot, and that is fenugreek. I love fenugreek. Fenugreek is bitter for sure, but you can actually sprout it. You can sprout fenugreek, which will make it a little bit milder. But fenugreek is a digestive bitter, so that really, really helps with your digestion too. And, that's great. When you sprout it, you can go ahead and put it on your salads, or you can put it on sandwiches. There's just a lot you can do with fenugreek. And believe it or not, it's good for women who are nursing and want to increase their lactation. So it's good for that also. But anyway, I can keep on talking, and I'd love to hear from anyone that's listening, just to ask me some basic questions about some herbs and spices. But the number to call is 888-565-1019. 1470. So we're on the air until 8 o'clock, and I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm going to cut to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, hopefully we'll have some calls, and then we'll just continue with the wonderful conversation of Ayurvedic and holistic medicine. Thanks.
Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP, the number 2.tv. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422.
You are listening to Tell Us Your Business, where our invited guests share all the knowledge of their business and how important it is what they do in our community. If you want to be part of the conversation, call into the show at 888-565-1470 and tell us what's on your mind. Now, back to Tell Us Your Business.
Hi, welcome back to the Roots and Remedies Show. I'm your host, Krupa. And as I was talking about me, the first half of the show, just in case you missed it, I am hosting this new show called the Roots and Remedies Show that I had done for about 3.5 years when I was up in northern Georgia. And I loved it. I loved doing radio. I loved the show so much, especially because I had my own health and nutrition shop, and I got to interact with my customers almost on a regular basis. So that was exciting, and that was great. And so recently I moved back to South Florida. So I'm excited to be here and back to just kind of being close to family. And as my parents are aging, I just want to be close to them. But of course, my passion is to continue talking about holistic and Ayurvedic medicine, because that's what I talk about. I'm originally from India, and that's what the Roots and Remedies Show is going to be about. But a lot more. I mean, we're going to have some wonderful guests on our show, and we're going to be talking about, all types of topics from, health and nutrition to just, basic ailments that people face every single day and challenges in life, and how we can keep ourselves in balance. Ayurvedic medicine, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, is originally from India, and it is a 5,000-year-old practice. And now it's coming, people here in the Western world. When I say Western world, I'm talking about, us here in the U.S. and Canada and South America and such. We're starting to learn a lot more about Indian medicine or holistic medicine. And many of us, I know, including myself, practice yoga. And yoga is part of Ayurveda. And Ayurveda, again, as I said at the beginning of the show, is about mind, body, and soul, keeping ourselves in balance. So really the focus of this show is keeping ourselves in balance and how to do that, spiritually, physically, emotionally. And of course, food is a huge part of that. What we eat is, what we become. And really, the foods from the earth are what we utilize every single day to heal us. So anyway, as I mentioned before we went to commercial, if there's any questions, we were starting to talk about Indian food and what type of spices we utilize in our Indian cooking. And I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of these ingredients in your pantry and your cupboards already. You may not even realize it. We were talking about a few different herbs. We spoke about fenugreek. We talked about turmeric, which was the first one, and fennel. So I don't know if any of you guys have experienced utilizing those in your dishes. And, I'd like to know about it. Give me a call and let me know what you think about those spices. And they are medicinal. And I mentioned how they are medicinal. Some of the uses for these herbs and spices. Number one, for turmeric, you have anti-inflammatory. It's an anti-inflammatory. It's antibacterial, antifungal, and astringent. It's just amazing. And a lot of you use it right now in lieu of maybe some type of pharmaceutical medication. Then we have fennel, which is helps with digestion, just kind of like an enzyme, helps break down your foods after you eat, cleanses your palate. And then lastly, we mentioned fenugreek. Fenugreek is a digestive bitter, and it's wonderful for sprouting, and it's good for your digestion, of course. And for those women who are lactating, it's great for lactation. So anyway, I was going to, let me go ahead and give you the telephone number. It's 888-565-1470 if you want to call in and ask me any specific questions. But this is our first show. Like I said, I'm here solo today. No guests, but I will have guests on very soon. So talking about Ayurveda, there are 3 basic doshas. And doshas are your chemical makeup. You have Vata, which is V-A-T-A, Vata. And then you have Pitta, which is P-I-T-T-A, not the pita bread. And then you have Kapha, K-A-P-H-A. And so those 3 help figure out what that individual needs to keep themselves balanced. So, a typical Vata person usually is somebody that is of a smaller type of frame and has little muscle tone. And then there's certain foods that they can eat and certain foods that we suggest that they avoid to keep them in balance. Also, that is space and air. That's what the reflecting elements are for those particular sign, for that particular sign or that dosha. That's the chemical makeup. And so that again is Vata. And then there's Pitta. Pitta, I know we were talking about Pitta a lot a couple of days ago when I was a guest on our awesome TV show. So I was talking about Pitta being one of the amazing, I think a lot of us are Pittas actually. It's one of the amazing doshas that also is person has to be a medium body frame person, and that is actually fire and water. And then there's certain foods that they should avoid eating, like hot and spicy food, because that really fiery personality, and they are a fiery personality, should stay away from heat, and that can aggravate their system a little bit and keep them off balance. So we want to keep them on balance or in balance, and being in balance means you need to eat the right types of foods to keep you there. A lot of us don't even know this, and this is why I do my consultations, and I mentioned that at the beginning of the show. So, and I will talk about that in a moment. And then the last dosha, which is your chemical makeup, of course, part of your chemical makeup is Kapha, and that is reflecting the qualities of water and earth. And those are much more of the larger frame. You have a larger frame usually with that, and you need to avoid cold and certain types of cold liquids. Again, these are all your chemical makeup. So to get into more depth, I definitely can talk about that on another episode. But that's, really how we kind of define a person when we do these consultations, to figure out what your dosha is. And once we figure out what your dosha is, we're able to help you figure out what types of foods work best for you, what type of foods you should avoid. It actually helps you with your temperament. I mean, it can help you figure out your temperament, and even to do with your vitamins and supplements. Really, that's another great topic that we can talk about on another segment, but just to touch base about vitamins and supplements, we all need, vitamins and supplements. And the reason I say that is because the majority of us are deficient in vitamins and minerals. And what ends up happening from those deficiencies is that we start having these ailments, that, instead of treating the root of the issue by giving ourselves the actual vitamin and mineral that our body needs to function effectively, what we do is we go to the doctor, we tell them our body aches here, or we don't feel good, or maybe we have an underlying disease going on. And what the doctor does, he or she prescribes us a pharmaceutical medication. Really, that's a Band-Aid, because you're not really treating the root of the problem. So by getting to the root of the issue, meaning getting to, the bottom line of giving your body what it needs to function effectively, then you can see what your body really needs and if you're in balance or not. Really, I always recommend a very, very good multivitamin that is age-related and gender-related. And why do I say that? Because women need, first of all, different vitamins and minerals than men. So that's the gender-related. But age-related, you don't want to be taking your child's vitamin, if you're an adult, because they're not going to need as much as you. And again, it should be age-related and gender-related. And it should be a whole food-based, something that is all as natural and organic as possible, with little fillers and binders. And how do we know this? Well, there's many ways we can tell, if a vitamin or mineral is good. But a really good way, kind of to figure out really quickly, is to boil some water, wait till it comes down to room temperature, and then take your pill or your capsule and put it into the water. And if it dissolves, guess what? That's great. That's a wonderful vitamin, and it's a great mineral supplement for you to take, because at least it's digesting in your system. But if it doesn't dissolve, guess what? You're really wasting your money, because it's just going to come out the other end into the toilet, and you're not going to have any, you're not going to feel good. You're going to have this bad impression of these multivitamins and these supplements, and think, well, I'm not going to take this vitamin D or this multivitamin that supposedly is going to help me. It doesn't work. But that is because you're not taking the right one for yourself, and maybe you're not taking the right brand. So, it's very, very, very important to make sure that you select the right brand and the right vitamin mineral for you. How are you going to know this? Well, that's why you're going to call me and let me know. I mean, you can call the show anytime at 888-565-1470, and let me know what you're taking now, and let me know what your thoughts are and how it's been affecting you. And think about this as well. Vitamins and minerals, you don't want too much of them. You don't want too little of them. Your body may not need, 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. You know what I mean? So it really depends on you as an individual. And that's why I do my consultations, and that's why I'm going to be talking about all this great stuff on the Roots and Remedies show every Monday at 7:30 p.m. So anyway, I'm really excited. I can't wait to, continue. Next week, I'm going to have a special guest on, and, it's going to be exciting to just hear some new information about, health and nutrition. And, you're going to learn something really new on this show. And I think that you might be surprised of what you learn. We're even going to be talking about essential oils. I mean, essential oils is a huge thing right now that people are kind of getting into. And, essential oils, how to use them. I really suggest that they use them topically, that no one should really ingest them. But anyway, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. So I'm so excited. I think I need to wrap up the show because I can keep on talking. And if you want to hear more about Roots and Remedies and me, tune in next Monday at 7:30. And my name is Krupa with the Roots and Remedies show, and I'll have a lot more information for you when we get back next week. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.